Hello, Dev community. Welcome to DevLive again. Happy and grateful to be here with you. Thank you for joining us in this journey. So we're truly excited for this year's lineup of speakers and also partners. And I want to welcome also Amazon as partner on stage AI product powering this year. So today I'm also excited to welcome our guest, Indra Gheorghe, which is software development manager at Amazon. We will talk about professional growth, innovations in projects in Amazon, what we can tell about evolution in technology in the next decade, and of course, what DevTalks plays as a role in their strategy. So no further introduction. Welcome, Indra. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, nice to meet you, and hello to everyone. Thank you for having me here.
We are really grateful that you accepted our invitation in order to create the context and to show our audience your background maybe and to get to know you a little more. Can you also introduce yourself in a few words, please?
Yes, I'm Indra. I'm a software development manager for Amazon. I lead a team that currently focuses on AI projects. And I've graduated from engineering a very, very long time ago. And so I've been a developer for a long time, and then I switched to management, and then I joined Amazon as a manager a year and 4 months ago, I think. And it's been a very exciting journey. I learned a lot, and I'm so happy I'm here.
Thank you for sharing this with us. So going to Amazon experience, can you also tell us what opportunities for professional growth does Amazon offer to the tech professionals now?
So we do have some positions opened. At Amazon, we aim to hire and develop the best people. And so we do have a variety of roles. They're all on the Amazon website and we hire in Bucharest and Iași, so you can filter by city. Amazon is, as you know, Amazon and AWS are kind of a package, and we aim to offer the state-of-the-art technology when it comes to AI, storage, infrastructure. So joining Amazon means you would have access to the newest and best technology that's on the market and a lot of space to learn. We do offer time for our employees to train and to learn, and there's a bunch of courses that are available on AWS that are offered for our employees as well. And I think starting with Amazon as a graduate, it's something that will teach people a lot. And also experienced people have a lot of space to grow. I grew a lot since I started with Amazon.
Yes.
But do check our website.
We'll do that. Of course, your team is larger also in Iași compared to Bucharest, but the role positions are even based here and also in Iași, no matter the location. Also, you've organized last year TechCon conference, which was one of the highlights of the year. Company organizing its own tech conference in Romania. So congratulations for that. And this year, I think you will host it in Iași, correct? Yes.
So last year there was also an anniversary for us. We celebrated 20 years of Amazon in Romania, so that's why it was.
It was one reason. Yeah. Okay. So, what innovations or projects is Amazon most excited about right now? If you can tell us.
So I can go a little bit into a few details, but Amazon's a big company and we have over 3 million employees. So I'm speaking in terms of what is most exciting for me. And for me, the most exciting thing about Amazon in general is that we are the most customer-focused company in the world. And the backbone of everything that we build is the customer and the feedback they give us. So right now we have multiple projects, but the one that I'm most excited about is something that we're building for our seller partners. And I'll give you a little bit of context on what the seller partner is. Amazon is a marketplace, so somebody can go and sell their products on Amazon. In order for somebody to be able to sell their products, they need to respect the regulatory laws of the marketplace where they sell, right? So a lot of sellers will have to go through a lot, and that is not Amazon. So it's not us saying, hey, you have to do this. This is, say, the European Union or any other government comes and says, hey, in order for you to be able to sell a product on our territory, you need to have these certain amounts of testing done and whatever else they want to put in their certificates. It depends from product to product, right? So one of the main complaints we got from our customers, in this case, the seller partners, that this is such a bureaucracy-heavy process. So what we're doing now is we're building a way that they can use if they want for us to de-risk instead of them having to do it manually. So what they would do is that they would use an Amazon solution that leverages AI, and that will allow us to de-risk on their behalf when and if they choose to do so. And another thing that I'm very excited about is all the new features that Bedrock is coming out on AWS with. So they have a bunch of features. My favorite feature is the prompt optimization framework that they put out there. And yeah, all the tech parts of Amazon actually excite me a lot more than anything else.
Talking about the tech part and the evolution in this year mainly, because I think this year was pretty transformative, let's say so, with different news. But talking about the role of developers in the next decade, how do you see the evolution here?
So, you know what, I think the engineers in general, because when I say developers, I mean software engineers more. Engineers and developers have always been the backbone of the world's infrastructure, right? Your phone is not going to work without an engineer and the developer. Your blender is not going to work without some code, right? So I think the need for engineers is not going away, but the way we work as engineers is going to change. So we're always going to need improvement, optimization, and innovation. And that's never going to go away, but it's going to shift a little bit. I expect the engineers to have to become more comfortable working outside of known patterns and very strict processes. I think they are going to have to become comfortable with outsourcing the code that they write to AI, and then focusing on becoming architects and orchestrators, and basically being the oversight of what is happening. So yes, engineers are still going to be here. They're still going to have to come up with the ideas and work on the improvements and optimization and all the innovation. But the way they're doing it is going to change a little bit. They're going to have to be more customer focused and business focused rather than code focused. That's going to be outsourced. And that's speaking about software engineers specifically. In terms of the rest of the engineering, I don't think that's the topic of today.
Thank you for mentioning this. I think it's an outcome that we previously had in our conversations this year about the orchestrating role that engineers should admit that they need in the next period to have a larger picture of what they want to do on the strategy in business that want to apply, and the tools that they can use now can be in their advantage. So talking about underrated skills, maybe in the next part, I was mentioning in our conversation before starting the DevLive that is one of my favorite questions. It is because, not necessarily because underrated, it's maybe the best chosen word, but somehow tech professionals should develop different skills today. And we want to mention them and maybe talk about what's the unspoken part of the skills that developers or tech professionals in general should develop today.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think some of the most impactful skills aren't technical at all. They are knowing when to push back and offering better alternatives, sometimes to save in terms of future development and building something that might not be sustainable long term. So that's something that I really noticed with some of the great engineers that I've worked with. They are very focused on what are we trying to build, what need are we trying to solve for, what's the problem, and then being able to come up with the right alternative to whatever we are discussing as a solution, right? And then I think that something else that's quite a bit overlooked is pairing this with a basic understanding of the financial side of the tech world, compute costs, building something, and what the trade-offs are, vendor economics. That's writing code doesn't mean just, hey, we're going to write this piece of code and deploy it, and it's going to run in production, and it's going to be great. Obviously, that's part of it. But we also have to be aware of what the cost of doing that is. Can we optimize that? Is that the best solution? And the last thing that I think is important is being comfortable with ambiguity. I know that can be frustrating, and I heard a lot of feedback from other engineers, but I don't like to work with ambiguity. I think none of us like that, but being able to ask the right questions and reasonably make some bets and take some actions, even if you don't know the full scope of a project, is very important because you are moving the project forward. I think that's what's most important for me. That's non-technical, but it's very impactful. Of course, technical skills are also important, but we have
some add-ons this year. Yeah. Or in the next decade, not talking only about this year.
Yeah. So if we're focusing on the future, I think the most important skills are no longer just technical. They are a combination of understanding how the business works and what the business impact is of what we're building, and being able to build it in the most effective way.
Yeah. To be sustainable, yeah. Thank you for sharing this. Also, I want to shift towards DevTalks. And when mentioning DevTalks, not only this year, because you were long time ago partners and you've trusted this playground to meet with tech professionals. How does participation in DevTalks impact your company's strategy?
So Amazon is at the forefront of technical innovation, and this is an opportunity for us to showcase what we're building. And I'm going to shamelessly plug in my colleagues, which are going to speak at DevTalks, Kristi Kordos and Marianne Cristea. Their presentations are amazing and full of these bits of knowledge, so please do attend them. But yeah, it's showing what we're building, what you can do with what we're building. And also, I'll probably reference this later again, but I think it's very important to build relationships. And some of the best ways to find the right people to work with is meeting them organically through events like this. So that's one of the other things that I think it's important. So networking, knowledge sharing, professional development are important reasons for joining DevTalks. We're also hiring, like we spoke earlier. And personally, for me, being a woman in tech, being a minority, it's important to attend and see what the market is like, where the industry is going, and keeping up to date for myself as well.
This year we share a common vision. So this year we also want to show more of Romanians products, what tech people are working behind the scene. So we'll talk a little more that we did before about the Romanian tech scenario, since we not only have your trust on Empower and the AI product stage, but we also have products related area, Grow Your Idea, where startups or ideas that tech professionals want to share with our audience are present there, and we're very excited to facilitate this. So to end our conversation with a message, maybe you can also mention what career advice do you wish someone had given you earlier?
So I'm gonna say something different from what I've heard actually. So I got something that I got as a career advice when I was probably 20. Somebody told me you have to change your jobs often. Well, I'm not going to say how many years later, but enough years later, I'm going to say the exact opposite. I think changing jobs often is the worst advice I've ever got in my career. And not changing your job at all is not a great advice either. And I think both extremes are wrong. I think hopping from job to job every 18 to 24 months means you'll never build trust and reach the phase where you stop learning a system and actually start improving it. I'm not saying stay at a job just because there's inertia there, and you know what happens there. If you notice that you're stagnating there, obviously do go for a change, but you should self-assess and see, is it time to leave because you're exhausted, what the role and the environment can do for your growth, or on the other hand, assess, am I just staying here because I'm used to it and people help me here a lot and I'm very used to what's happening here. So my advice is don't change your job often, change it when it's meaningful for your career. And I do have 2 more pieces of advice that I've learned, and I wish somebody had told me. The first one is say yes to the scary thing. Giving a talk, leading a project that you're not sure you're ready for, reaching out to somebody you admire, or switching to a role that you feel you're not ready for are the accelerators for your career. That's how you grow faster. And then invest in your relationships with the people in the industry. The relationships matter. The way you build relationships also matters, right? So relationships are built in moments that nobody's watching. Relationships are based on trust. So show up to do the things that you think nobody's seeing. Put your commitment in, even if it's small and you think it doesn't matter. And then be helpful, be curious, and do the things that seem unglamorous, but actually have a bigger impact in the day-to-day life of you and your colleagues, and most importantly, your customers.
No, I like that. Yeah, because usually talking about the underrated aspect, you will expect to see only the glamorous image, but behind the scene might be some different aspects, and you also have to do the work that's not unglamorous and you don't like it, but it has impacted on your work and
And in my experience, that's what gets you promoted. That's
yeah.
how I got promoted to where I am now. So I
Yes.
did the unglamorous work. I ended up enjoying it because that's where you learn the most, and that's how you grow as a person.
Yeah, that's true. So, thank you, Indra, for having this conversation. I think your advices are really helpful for the community. You can find out more and ask questions about their products and about their innovations in the next period. So don't hesitate to meet Amazon on AI product stage. So if you already have a ticket, we'll see, we can meet each other there. If you don't, it's not too late. So thank you for booking your tickets in advance. It means a lot for us, for the community, to build such a large event. Thank you, Indra, again. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me here and asking me hard questions. And I look forward to joining DevTalks and see what's happening there this year.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.